Like many other neighborhoods in Chicago, Westridge began with sparse residential development of early settlers around 1850 and grew with the development of commercial areas during the early 20th century. The first concentration of commercial development in Westridge began along Devon Avenue near Western Avenue, and Devon became the community's main thriving thoroughfare. It continues to be the primary commercial district in the neighborhood and is now home to over 72,000 Chicagoans from a large range of ethnicities, including Russian, Polish, Indian, Pakistani, and Korean. Although known for its Indian and Pakistani restaurants and businesses, Devon was first settled by German and Luxembourgian farmers in the 1830s and 40s before being annexed into Chicago in 1893. Then German and Scandinavian laborers from the brickyards began moving into the neighborhood following the expansion of Western Avenue northward in 1899. It was not until the population boom after World War I that the major development in the area would come. The next major building boom along Devon happened after World War II when returning veterans came to the neighborhood along with the growing Orthodox Jewish community. As you drive or stroll down Devon, there are still remnants of this area and its history from the mid-century agriculture influences on buildings such as Birdie Foods grocery store and the Sian Theater turned Viceroy of Indian Banquet Hall to the repurposed Jewish synagogue at 2040 West Devon, and the neighborhood continues to say that it is the most concentrated Orthodox Jewish community in the city.
More recently, beginning in the 1970s, the Assyrian, Russian, Korean, and more specifically the Indian and Pakistani communities became a predominant presence along Devon. This group has completely redefined the commercial street, which can be seen in altered first-story storefront facades of almost every building. Carrie's Lounge is quite possibly the last remaining original storefront on the street and dates back to 1923. From the prism glass transom to the recessed entry, stepping inside Carrie's is a bit like step back in time in the Chicago neighborhood. So the next time you head up to the north side for the best Indian food in town, take a look around the street. Look at the architectural details. Over 40 different languages are spoken here, and those melding cultural influences can be seen everywhere you look. Behind all the signs and the lights, the architecture truly shares the story of the people who have called the Westridge, Devon Avenue, and this nook of Chicago home.
Religious beliefs and practices among South Asians are as diverse as the South Asian community itself, and Westridge is home to several centers of worship that serve Chicago's South Asian population. Though the largest Hindu temples are located in Chicago suburbs, there are also several mosques located in or around Devon Avenue. Therefore, while many South Asians visit temples to celebrate religious holidays, most frequently they worship in private or with family and friends at home. Religious worship is thus also social interaction that bolsters the informal networks that are critical for the well-being of Chicago's South Asians.
For the past 37 years, Rosenblum's World of Judaica has held down the fort at 2906 West Devon, but at the end of October, the owner, Avi Fox, will pack up his scrolls and Torahs and move them to Skokie. After 71 years, the city of Chicago will be without the oldest and largest full-service Jewish bookstore in the Midwest. Rosenblum's opened as Rosenblum's Hebrew Bookstore in the early 1940s. Hungarian immigrant William Rosenblum set up shop on Roosevelt Road in Lawndale, in the heart of what Jews fondly called the Old West Side. According to Irving Cutler, professor emeritus of urban geography at CSU University from the 1920s until after World War II, Roosevelt Road was the area's most thriving Jewish business district. Within a mile and a half, it boasted 6 movie houses, including 2 that showed Yiddish films, 10 butcher shops, and 4 Jewish bookstores, including Rosenblum's. More than 120,000 Jews lived in the greater Lawndale then, but then would migrate north, and with each move, Cutler explains, Chicago's Jewish population became less concentrated.
Everyone in Chicago has a favorite Devon lunch or dinner spot for the wide array of cuisines and prices. Hen's Kitchen and Tiffin are always popular highlight cooking places that are more familiar to the American taste. Think yogurt-based sauces, tahini, biryani, and other dishes associated with the northern Indian or other cities. But Devon offers excellent southern Indian cuisines and Paki cuisines too. Ignore the fact that some of the restaurants have a truck stop decor, With the food this good and this inexpensive and plentiful, the cuisines are perfect for what we were going for in Chicago. The Paki barbecue, for example, the savory broiled kebabs are so filling that you can feed 4 adults from one order. Although it might seem Devon only has Paki and Indian food, it also has an array of other foods and other cultures. For example, Assyrian food has a very big dominant role in this area. For example, biryani, which is a rice-based and protein-based food, has a big dominant role in this area because it connects both the cultures in many ways. At the end, we see how both cultures connect. At the end, it doesn't matter what culture you're from or where you're from. Devon is a perfect place if you're Jewish, Arabic, white, Assyrian, whatever culture you are. It's a mixing ground of everything that we know Chicago to be, and that is what is so great about it. Cheap food, amazing people, amazing build of cultures. It is 100% fully proof Chicago, and nothing will ever change that, even in 100 years.